Hey, Double O's, Blake over at Bond Life Chicago with another Double O fight breakdown. Today in License to Kill, Bond in the fish shop warehouse. Basically, 1 versus 3. He's put to gunpoint twice. He's got another one point where he's shot at by a superior firearm. Bond's definitely behind the 8 ball on this one, but with his ability to fight, his situational awareness, and his super sleuthing, as I like to call it, he's able to adapt and overcome these predicaments. So obviously he's snuck into the fish shop. He's trying to figure out what's going on, and he's found a drawer with a bunch of worms, and he digs in there and he's finding the drugs. And as he's doing that, one of the security guards, one of the henchmen, walk up and put their gun to the back of his head, freeze. He's able to reach over and he takes Bond's gun out of the holster. Pretty bad way at this point, but Bond still got his hands in the drawer with the drugs and the worms. And as he's got him at gunpoint, Bond does a good job here. The situational awareness, the first thing you want to do if somebody's got you in a situation like this is you've got to try to divert their attention so that you can try to move and react to defend yourself. And he even addresses it. Instead of letting the other guy do it, he goes, "Hey, can I at least get my hands out of here?" Now, the thing that does is it goes from Bond moving them on his own and making a movement or reaction that security guard is not expecting, which would allow that person to then react and maybe fire his gun. But in giving the security guard the idea to allow him to move his hands out of the drawer, it's now given that's the movement that he told him to do. So he's, take your hands out nice and slow. Now Bond's expected to move his arms and maybe even turn and face the security guard, giving him the upper hand on the movement of the, what we like to call an OODA loop, the seeing and the reaction of a movement in a certain circumstance such as this. So Bond takes his hands out, and as he turns and faces him, he throws the worms in the security guard's face, which kind of disorients him. And in that amount of time, Bond's able to close the gap, the few feet in between them. He knocks the security guard's hands away and the gun away, and then he throws a punch to the stomach. And then he does what I would consider to be like a shoulder throw. So ultimately, the security guard's arm is up here and over Bond's shoulder, and he's able to throw him over him with the leverage, throwing him into the drawer with the worms, and then he presses the button to close the drawer. That security guard's out of the equation. But at that same time, another security guard from up above on one of the railings comes around and shoots at Bond with a submachine gun. Bond takes cover initially, but as he's trying to grab one of the guns, it looks like it's the security guard's gun versus Bond's gun. He's basically pinned down by that submachine gun from the other security guard, and he has to move to a different location. And as he kind of does a tactical retreat to get a new angle on the security guard loses where he's at and starts walking around the upper railing trying to find him. Bond again capitalizes on his own situational awareness and super sleuthing. He's able to walk around quietly, reposition himself to a point where he actually grabs a hook that looks like it's for like fishing big game, like sharks maybe, whales, things like that. And he's able to get behind the security guard at one point, and he uses it. He actually fishes the hook up over the rail or through the railing, hooks onto the back of the belt of the security guard and yanks down, which pulls him through the railing of that upper catwalk area and down into an electric eel tank. From there, the second security guard gets electrocuted to death. I know what you're thinking. Shocking. Positively shocking. Wait, that's the wrong movie. Couldn't help myself. That's 2 security guards down now. But as that one happens and as that security guard is struggling and getting electrocuted, the CIA double agent walks around. Again, he's got Bond at gunpoint several feet away. There's not much that Bond can really do at this point but do what the guy's telling him to do. He tells him to go over to the trap door. A little bit funny there, kind of some movie magic. If it's a trap door, you don't really know where it is. You can't really tell where it is because otherwise why would anybody stand on it? But he's got him at gunpoint. tells him to walk over there to the trapdoor. Bond walks over there, and he knows where the trapdoor is or where the area is. So he walks over there, and he's standing there. They're having a little one-on-one. But before the security or the double agent's able to activate the trapdoor, Sharky comes to the rescue and pushes open the hatch and knocks that double agent off balance. Again, kind of disorienting him. Bond's able again to close that distance. The camera doesn't really show the first 2 strikes, but it sounds like 2 strikes, and the second one looks like it's to the torso. I imagine with how close they are, both of them are to the torso, but the second one looks like a punch to like the chest stomach area, and then Bond punches him once with a right hook to the face as the trapdoor's opened, and the agent has to grab onto one of the ropes that's kind of dangling over the trapdoor area. And at that, he's kind of standing there with his feet on the edge, holding on tight. And at that point, he thinks it's a good idea to bribe Bond with the $2 million that's in the briefcase he was carrying, offering up half of it. If you're really in fear for your life, you'd think you'd offer up the whole thing, but I don't think Bond was going to go for $2 million anyway. So not that that matters too much. Bond goes over and he grabs the briefcase, and he pretty much just tosses it to the center mass area of the double agent. Him being the greedy little grub that he is, instead of holding on to still stay safe, he lets go of the rope and he catches the briefcase. He falls into the shark tank. The rest is history there. But again, you get another little quip from Bond, one of his one-liners. You want it? You keep it, old buddy. As always, if you guys are serious about self-defense and martial arts, please find a local gym in your area. It's a great way to stay safe, it's a great way to stay fit, and it's a great way to bring a little bit of Bond into your everyday life. Hope you guys like this one. See you next time. James Bond will return, and 00 Fight Breakdowns will as well.